Hi, here we are in FlexWeigh's QC department. Again, I wanted to catch these two machines before they slip out the back door. They provide a unique solution to a problem that a manufacturing client has in the field. He needed a box checkweigher, something that can weigh a box about like this and about like this, up to 50, maybe even 60 pounds. Sounds pretty ordinary for a checkweigher. What everyone would envision is the usual 24 wide, 48 inch long, motorized slider bed conveyor, and if he wants to do a reject, maybe there's another 4 feet out there with a pusher for the rejector, and maybe he needed to do some indexing, so you've got another belt over here that's an accelerator belt or some other kind of mechanical indexer. In any case, everybody thinks they know what that simple checkweigher looks like. Every piece of 4-color glossy literature that you will ever see looks just like what you think that checkweigher should look like. In this case, the client had some not unusual special requests. One of his special requests was he needs his checkweigher to fit onto a floor where he has 27 inches by 27 inches of envelope space to put it. Well, it kind of rules out the 4-foot long conveyor that's 24 foot wide or 24 inches wide and motorized. He also has 50 to 60 pound boxes that he wants to weigh to an accuracy of 1/100 of a pound. That kind of rules out the motorized conveyor as well with all its vibration and everything else. He also had a requirement for 10 inches of height adjustability. So just to show you real quickly what we did about that is we have leveling legs that are concentric pipes. This pipe slips into that one. Get it up to wherever it is that you want to get close. You get an inch plus or minus of adjustment here on the leveling feet. But we figured, okay, if he wants 10, we'll give him 15, just because we can. All of those are specifications that almost specifically rule out a catalog solution, which is too bad because we like to make the easy ones too. We like to make the motorized slider beds, and obviously we do a very good job at it here at FlexWeigh. Certainly have a lot of experience. But in our experience, what we've also learned is that the standard slider bed checkweigher, motorized checkweigher conveyor, is probably right maybe 50% of the time. 50% of the time, the customer would be happier with something else. He would be happier with a scale that really does give him his 1/100 of a pound. He'd be happier with a machine that costs perhaps half of what a slider bed checkweigher costs. He'd be happier with no maintenance. He would be happier with a lot of the advantages that we provided for him simply for the sake of him giving us a phone call and saying, you know what, this is what I really want to do, instead of saying, what does this unit do on this 4-color glossy? Tell us what you want to do, and then we'll take it from there. So, the way the system works, well, in our discussions with the customer, it evolved that what checkweighers do, motorized inline checkweighers, what their real function in life is to catch a mistake. If there's been a mistake, they catch the mistake and cause a reject. That's really, if you think about it, after the fact. Really after the fact. What we want to do in manufacturing is prevent the mistake. If you can prevent the mistake, then all your problems are solved. So we went at the whole project with that in mind. What the user was doing before he had the checkweigher is he would pack a box about this size full of plastic trays. He wanted to inject a checkweigher in the process to make sure that the right amount of quantity obviously was in the box. So what we decided we would do is we would come at it from a situation where he can pack his box, roll it onto the checkweigh scale by hand, because he's packing it right here on some gravity roller conveyor. He just back the box, he rolls in here, we catch the box, we weigh the box, and if it's okay, we'll allow the box to proceed on through. Okay? Because he needs to manually propel the box into his case weigher in his circumstance, the operator would simply roll the box on, pack the next box, bat this box out of the way and down the way, and slide the other one on, and pack the next one. And that would be pretty much the workflow that his operator is doing. We didn't know at the time that the customer needed 2 Checkweighers, back to back, so that they both go that way into the case. So we made 2 units, mirror image, operating in opposite direction from each other, but of course in the same direction when they're back to back. So this was the solution that we came up with. Now, if, for example, I'll put in an extra tray there, if he rolls in and gets a reject, he can't push the box any further. It's held in place by cleats. He can't move this. The only way he's going to get this box to go anywhere is if he physically lifts the 50, the 30, 50, 60-pound box. And I'm going to guess that the user is a lot like me. If I can figure out a way not to lift that 50, 60-pound box, I'd probably choose that alternative. The alternative is to correct the weight. You can go in here, correct the weight. When he gets the weight correct, it's free to go. After he presses reject acknowledge. In other words, he's made his correction and presses reject acknowledge, we're released, and everything is okay. One of the things that's important to inhibit is if you get a reject, and he's going to be over here correcting it, he's going to be bouncing back and forth through the OK zone. We don't want to release that box while he's doctoring it until he stands back and says, yeah, I like that. In which case, he presses reject acknowledge, and you're free to go. The mechanics of the system is very simple. I'll just remove this guard. We've already removed the 4 screws here that hold the guard on. The box comes in, hits that photocell, we drop the conveyor, and we're leaving the box on these cleats. These cleats are actually the weighing surface of the scale. Because we're weighing static, we can get much higher accuracy than in motion. After he corrects the weight of the box, it's in the OK zone, he pushes OK, and we lift up, and it's free to roll. It's okay to start with, it comes in, we weigh it, it's okay, and he can bat it right off. Very simple, semi-automatic operation, can keep pace with his process of loading his boxes. Accuracy, no high maintenance, no motors, no belts, no drives, no factory startup engineers to come install some real expensive in-motion weighing system. All we really want to do is make sure that the user puts the right number of parts in the box. Pretty simple requirement. We can go at it with a fairly simple machine. I think we did a pretty good job for this client, and I think that he does too. Because actually, these 2 units are the 5th and 6th units that are exactly like this. This is his 3rd order for 2 units, and he's continuing to put this type of concept in his plant. And you can imagine 6 Checkweighers. Now, they could have been 6 of those slider beds that we described earlier with the big slider bed and the 440 volt motor and all this other thing and rejectors and indexers and everything else. Or we can simply, for the sake of a phone call, solve the problem. Make sure that the user puts the right amount of quantity in the box. And if he doesn't, we keep him from advancing the box. Did I get it?